Well, that didn't take long. Facebook started out as just being a social media site, right? A social media platform for everyone to congregate to and basically talk about anything and everything that they wanted to. No central planning involved. It was completely voluntary. And then, as you've seen, it was that gradual creep, right? Creep, creep, creep. Now, not even a decade, man. Authoritarianism happens real quick in real time nowadays in the digital area, in the digital age, right? Now, we've made it to the point, like I say, less than a decade after the company started, right? When it was all about, just giving people a platform to socialize with others. Well, now they've gone that authoritarian route. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And Facebook is definitely one of those entities, those corporations that has absolute power in the social media world, right? I mean, the next closest thing pales in comparison as far as how far their reach and their tentacles go out onto the world landscape, on the social media landscape. Headline: Facebook to step up fact-checking in fight against fake news. Update to related articles feature is launching in U.S., France, the Netherlands, and Germany. So even, let me just let you know for you younger folks, the older folks would completely understand this wholeheartedly, is fake news has always been around. They were called tabloid magazines, right? The Enquirer, like the National Enquirer, or Star Magazine, or, there was a bunch of them. Actually, I think tabloid was the name of one. I think that's where they got that term, right? But everyone understood it wasn't, you didn't need a central planner or the person when you were buying these magazines at a local grocery checkout. You didn't need anyone from government or that corporation or that grocery store to say, hey, that thing you're buying, that's not actual real news. That's fake news, right? You didn't need that. People were treated like adults. Oh, shocker. We were all treated like adults at one stage long time ago, right? Now, these social media giants and Facebook, Zuckerberg and his team, they've gone into the authoritarian central planning model, but they're going to do it in a more soft totalitarianist way. They're going to do that gradual creep because the leftists, the collectivists know, you don't want to go too hardcore because the minute you do, well, people will turn around and run away completely. So you're seeing the propaganda, the political dialogue, and the narrative they're putting forth presented. All is to protect you from yourself, right? Kind of sounds a lot like what governments talk about. We have to do this to protect you from yourself, right? Facebook, and with Zuckerberg possibly maybe, that possible potential run for President 2020, like I say, yeah, the power getting to his head and a lot of his subordinates. Hello, the evidence is right there, put forth and presented to you. It can't be denied anymore, folks. Let's get down to the article. But the headline alone just speaks volumes. Facebook is to send more potential hoax articles to third-party fact checkers and show their findings below the original post. The world's largest online social network said on Thursday as it tries to fight so-called fake news. Right? That seems something very important for the folks at Facebook, right? They don't want you to consume what they perceive as fake news. And that's another thing. As we're seeing a lot of stuff nowadays, that fake news may very well be, and we see that's undeniable at this point, maybe just opinions or dialogue from people on a different part of the political spectrum that these types, these Silicon Valley leftists or collectivists or socialist types don't really like. Or these corporatists, right? They're not really free marketeers because a free marketeer would be open to allow people to consume and discern whatever kind of information that they're presented to and have their own autonomy and ability to just accept it or to reject it. But the fact that they want to intervene, right, tells you the underlying motif, right, as to why they would want to do such. This is proof positive that Facebook has gone completely political. The company said in a statement on its website it will start using updated machine learning to detect possible hoaxes and send them to fact checkers, potentially showing fact checking results under the original article. So what? The Ministry of Truth? What are you going to send it off to the Ministry of Truth now? Who are these independent, objective fact checkers? What? You mean there's such thing as a human being on this planet out of the 7 billion of us? You mean there's such thing as a human that is completely 100% objective and has no political opinions that may be skewed to one side of the political spectrum or the other? Right? Really? We all know that's not true. Hey, that's the kind of dialogue, that's the kind of narrative they would put forth and present if someone from the right side of the political spectrum, or libertarians that aren't on any side of the political spectrum because they reject politics in favor of philosophy and truth, right? But what if even libertarians were saying, hey, we should be in charge of determining what's true or false? As a libertarian myself, I would even reject that completely and outright, because even though I recognize instinctively that libertarians would be in a much better position and would be much, much, much more objective in their critical thinking skills and their objectiveness as far as in regards to articles or narratives being presented by media outlets, libertarians would be great for just such an occasion or endeavor. But even myself as a libertarian would say, no. You don't even want to give libertarians that kind of power to be the ultimate arbiter, the ultimate decider of what is truth and what is false, to be the minister of truth, the ministry of truth. I wouldn't even want to assume that kind of role or that task myself. Even though I think I would probably do a much better job, the minute I want to assume or take on that role or responsibility, it's like I wouldn't expect anything else other than people say, hey, Bennett, you've gone on to the authoritarian side now. Where's your libertarian values? Where's your libertarian principles now? Now that you are the one that wants to be the ultimate decider and arbiter of what's truth and what's false. And I would say, yeah, you're 100% right there, which is why, like I say, no matter who they put forth, no matter what platform, no matter what special interest group, no matter what corporation, no matter what lobby group, no matter what charity, no matter what fact checking or whatever outlet or institution that they think they're going to turn to be the ultimate arbiter of truth, to determine and dictate what is truth or false, well, that's the minute you know. That's the minute you know that the end is nigh, as far as, that's why you're seeing me more and more now on Minds, and I upload all my videos now. I have triple redundancy now. I don't just upload them to YouTube, I upload them to Minds.com, and I upload them to vidme.com, because I'm hedging my bets, because I see these social media platforms, the most establishing ones are going that authoritarian route. So we've got to diversify now. Just like in anything in your life, diversify competition. That's what drives innovation. That's what allows the free market of ideas to flourish. The fact that this is even being presented by not just Facebook and their ilk and their subordinates, but promoted by the established media should tell you, that should be that moment where the bells are ringing in the back of your head saying, okay, we can't trust these fuckers anymore. And that's just the truth. So as much as I'm not saying to, completely reject and turn your back on Facebook, you can use that platform still in some aspects, right? But at least start congregating and start moving over, or at least start frequenting some of these other sites that I've mentioned, so that you at least have a much broader base of not just thought and intellect and dialogue and narratives, but philosophical endeavors and ideologies. So that at least you can hear many different variances and opinions, right? That's the only way you can consider yourself even remotely truly informed. Reject this whole premise of central planning where you can just, hey, I can be as lazy as I fuck, someone else will tell me what's true and what's false. Don't allow that to happen, because you know where that leads. It's a Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.